All right, I'm going to walk through the first assignment that ties into your first project, which is to map out a wireframe, sitemap, and design tiles. So you're going to create these for what will be your portfolio project. And our goal is to teach you how to create a portfolio website to highlight yourself, your work, your resume, and we'll go into more details as we do this assignment as well as future assignments. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to create a sitemap. This is an example I gave earlier in one of the previous lectures for apple.com. This is apple.com. This is their homepage. And then from their homepage, they have a main navigation that highlights several pages, including a services page, which actually has additional navigation within it. This is a sitemap. It's a map to your website. You want to do this first because you're going to use this to do the next part of the assignment, and then you're going to use that part to do the next part of the assignment, and so on and so on. So we're building on each previous piece of work. So start with a sitemap. You could have a home page or a main landing page, and then from there, an about page that tells something about you. You could have a contact page for people to get in touch with you, a projects page to show examples of your work. You could have a resume page, all examples of stuff that students have used in the past because it's a portfolio site. Here's an example. Let me blow this up a little bit of something a student did. So this here is the main navigation. I'm showing this because this was a little confusing to me, and I had to talk with her, and I think she's a little bit confused on what the actual idea of what a sitemap was. Using Excel is totally fine. In fact, it might be the easiest and best way to do a sitemap, because here we have the main navigation: home, locations, mission, partners, volunteer, and a contact page. Within the home page, there are 4 links in a sub navigation that sits on the actual homepage. This is totally legit. She's identifying that on the homepage there are 4 key navigation elements. But then we go to the locations page and she's just identifying that there's a Google map on there. And then we go to the partners page and she's just identifying one of their partners. So what she's doing here is actually identifying content, not additional links on the rest of the site. On the homepage, she got it. On the footer outline, she got it. On the footer outline, we have info, and then we have 3 sub-navigations under that. And then we have action with 3 more sub-navigations. This is legit. This is a footer outline or a footer sitemap, and this is a main sitemap. The only thing that she's lacking is she didn't need to identify what content was going to be on these pages here. After you get your sitemap together, you're going to do a wireframe. And with your wireframe, you are going to use the sitemap to create a wireframe for every single page that's going to be on your site. That's why we create a sitemap, so that we know how many wireframes we need to make. So if you have a landing page, an about page, and a contact page, that's 3 wireframes. If you have a landing page, an about page, a projects page, a resume page, and a contact page, that's 5 wireframes that you would have to have. The wireframes, we showed some examples in the previous lecture. Here's one. Here's another one. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit more. And this one's a little bit rougher than the previous one. I don't care how you submit these. You can do them on a piece of paper. You can do them within Adobe. You can do them using a third-party tool such as wireframe.cc. This is a great free online program if you want to use this to create your sitemap. As soon as you get started, you have the ability to come in here, put your main header image in. Then maybe you decide you're going to put some navigation below that. And then you're going to put your main content area below that. And then maybe you're going to have 2 design elements, could be images, could be something else, but for our purposes here, and I'm not even worried about alignment at this point, I'm just trying to get stuff in there to get an idea of what the site looks like. And then once you get stuff in there, you can decide to rearrange content if you want to. You can just click and drag it. You just select the item you want first and you drag it over to get a better feel of what you want. Maybe we'll do something like this. And then I will create a new area with more content, so something like that. Pretty easy, pretty quick. Save it, download it, and turn it in. But you would do this essentially for each page. Here's an example of two sitemaps, or sorry, wireframes, hand drawn in a notebook, turned in, perfect. It's rough, but yet it tells me where everything is going to go. Here's her landing page. We have a logo. This is probably just identifying that this is the header area. We have the navigation, some content. Looks like she's putting a CTA, which is a call to action, which means it's going to be a button to engage in something. Maybe this is a sign up form or a contact form. Looks like she's got space for more content down here with an additional CTA or content area. Maybe she's got a YouTube video that she's going to put in here. This is actually pretty in depth. She's got a lot going on here, but then she's got a more simple page over here. She's labeled this locations pages. So this is probably the assignment that she did for the nonprofit. So she's got a map detailing the location and then contact information on the left. And they look like they have multiple locations. Again, real rough, yet simple and direct. Tells me what the page is going to look like and what content is going to go in those pages. If you want some inspiration for wireframes, and I'll include this in the assignments, this this resource, 40 best mobile app website wireframing examples, it's great for inspiration. Come through here, get some ideas of just content layout, design elements, what it could look like on a mobile device, what it will look like on desktop. It's a great inspiration for when you're building out your sites. And again, like I said, this will be in your assignment. Finally, you're going to do a style tile. Now, a style tile can be created using any Adobe product, but at the same time, it can also be created just using a Word document, PDF document, or you could even write this stuff out, but let me do some explanation. So this is an example of a student's style tile. Did it in Photoshop. We have the main heading here. Looks like there's a design element for the header. We have a logo and we have color swatches. Looks like we have some branding concepts here, as well as some ideas as far as links and CTA elements and some fun adjectives to describe what they want the design to look like. We have clients that give us style tiles all the time that are not using a Illustrator document or a Photoshop document, but it is just a Word document where they detail the content, or sorry, they detail the design of the site. Here's what's important. You can do either of those approaches. Do it in a Word doc, do it in a Adobe file, but if there are any types of patterns or logos, those need to be inserted. So if you got creative and you went and made a logo for yourself, but you're going to submit a design tile or a style tile or branding document, which is what I've called it as well, make sure you put that logo in there so we can see it. If you know what colors you're going to use, you don't have to create these colors as long as you find out what the hexadecimal number of that is. And there's tons of tools and resources out there that will let you do things like that. You just go to Google, search for color picker, and you've got it right there. Google provides one. There's tons of other resources out there, but you can come in here, play around with this, look for colors that you like, and then copy that hex number. and put that in your document. The style tile website that I referenced in my previous lecture is a great resource because it will give you a Photoshop template if you want to use Photoshop. If you download this template, you're going to essentially get these tiles as templates, and then you can modify and update those the way you want to use them. Take a look at the assignment. It's outlined in pretty much full detail. It covers everything that I talked about in this lecture, plus the resource links. And if you get stumped or need help, message me, send me an email, and we'll get you guys on the right direction.